Here's what we want to cover. All right, I want to give you guys an overview of the TSANet organization. It is a little bit different, right? And we'll get into that. And I want to give you an idea about the different relationship levels and things that Symantec has. And the reason that we make this a Symantec only thing is I can talk about some of these custom groups that you're a part of. And a lot of those are confidential that I'm not allowed to talk about. So that makes it really easy for me to do that. The bulk of what we want to get done here is actually show you how to tactically use TSANet and how to engage other members. So we'll talk about that. I'm actually going to log into the database and walk you through that, figure out how there's a lot of companies that you've got multiple relationships with. So we'll talk about how you pick the best relationship to engage them on. And then information that you're going to have to know before you place the call. There's a little bit of pre-work that you need to do, how you can escalate calls. We're not going to get into these things down here below on this case exchange stuff, but there's some really neat things going on that Symantec is a part of, as well as other companies, as far as, for example, being able to use Salesforce to escalate calls to other companies. We're in the process of working on some of those connectors, as well as doing some stuff in the knowledge exchange area, and certainly creating a custom group is something that a lot of our members are doing. So let's get into this. We'll just do a few slides, and then we'll get actually right into the database. So here's the organization. As Martin mentioned, I've actually been with the organization when I got started back in '93. And we started this company as a not-for-profit. And it was founded to serve the industry in creating relationships so that companies would be able to engage each other in a cooperative support manner. Now, 20 years ago, it was kind of unheard of to do, where you would be talking to other companies, let alone your competitors. It's not so much that way anymore, and we have morphed TSANet into doing other things with relationships. But the relationship piece of it is very important, and that's the core part of what this organization is founded and funded to do by the members. Again, 20 years last year. We operate differently. We operate under a set of bylaws as opposed to a normal corporation. And I actually work for a board of directors that's elected by the membership. So it's a very member-driven, member-run organization. We have a very small global staff. There's like 6 people in TSANet. And if you've gone to the public website, you may have seen that there's a lot of members on there, that what we refer to as basic and premium members. There's actually hundreds of members that are part of TSANet that we don't show you. We're going to change that in some of the things coming up. But there's actually well over 400 members that are part of TSANet. And as Symantec uses TSANet, it is a core part for building relationships with their partners. So you'll see here in a minute that Symantec uses it for the step members and things like that. Okay, this is kind of the high level of the way we split up our membership. And Symantec is part of what we call the open groups, where it's an ecosystem, it's a community of members that have gotten together and said, as long as we got a mutual customer between us, then I can contact you and you can contact me. So we've actually created 2 different open groups, one called the basic TSANet, one called the premium TSANet. The bond being that there has to be a mutual customer between you and the other partner. And this is obviously a quid pro quo thing, so you can engage other partners, they can engage you. And what we say in the basic TSANet is we will let the member define what a mutual customer is. So that typically boils down to is, do they have to have a support contract? All right? In the premium TSANet, because the rules of engagement within that is it's 24/7, it's global, has higher level SLAs, it's 2 hours in a sub 1, 4 hours in a sub 2, next business day in a sub 3. We say that mutual customer needs to be entitled at that level. So that's the difference between the basic and the premium TSANet, both of which are open groups. And that'll become important when we get into the database, and you're going to see, oh, well, if I need to engage Microsoft, I've got different options on how to do it. Trying to give you the foundation of, well, what relationship should I use? Okay? Here's a little bit more about these custom groups that have been created. This is something that we started several years ago, but it's really taken off within the last couple of years. And so what we allow our members to do is actually host relationships. So as an example, STEP partners that are part of the Symantec STEP program are also part of TSANet, but they're part of the hosted group by Symantec. So over on the right-hand side here, what you see is this one-to-many view. And when we get into the database, you're going to see, well, they'll show up as another member that you can contact. From their perspective, it's only a one-to-one. So they actually get an encrypted URL. They don't even go into the directory to see all these other companies. They just see Symantec, and they see the process that the STEP folks want them to use. The other thing that you've got under TSANet on the far left over here is you've got other relationships that are perhaps just a one-to-one with another company that could be around a specific product set for specific reasons. And you've also got some closed many-to-many relationships. For example, this one in the middle called MVEC, which is the Multi-Vendor Escalation Center, that allows you a very high-level relationship with a certain specific other companies. In this case, it's EMC and Microsoft, and NetApp is in there. I believe Citrix is in there. But in that relationship, what we say is that customer must have already opened up a 7-1 ticket with the other vendor before you can use that relationship. But when you use it, it is a very high-level one-to-one relationship. This is actually in the database, and I've logged in as somebody with Rich with Symantec. There's a lot of different ways. Martin will explain to you how you can get into the database. You don't have to have an individual login, things like that to get in there. But once you get in there, you're typically going to go directly to this directory page. Now here's all the companies that, as Symantec, I have a relationship with. They could be STEP members, they could be other open group members, and I could have multiple relationships behind this. But these are all the companies that I can engage and collaborate with. Let's say, for example, that I want to talk to Microsoft. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to click on Microsoft. You'll notice the way that Microsoft is set up is they're set up more geographically. And I'll give you a little contrast to this. When I look at another company, I like to show IBM. They're rather complex. But so assuming that the customer that I'm working with is an Americas-based customer, I'm going to want to contact Microsoft in the Americas. So I will click on the Americas Support Center. Now it's telling me that I've got 3 different relationships that I can engage Microsoft in. There's the basic TSANet, and there's the SLA, and there's also the definition of the customer, which you'll see in the next page here. There's mission critical that I've got, so if it's a high-level customer that's entitled at that level with Microsoft, I would probably want to use that because I'm going to be assured that I'm going to get back that higher level of engagement. And then here's MVEC. So if it meets the restrictions for that relationship, then I would go ahead and use MVEC to engage. But let's say that the member is only has an 8-to-5 relationship with Microsoft. So I'm going to use the basic TSA. And what you're going to see here is now a process document that Microsoft has set up specific for the basic TSANet members and specific for this relationship. Okay, so what you see up here at the top in step 1, this is information that Microsoft wants you to capture about the customer before you call. Down here in step 2, this is going to be information on how does Microsoft want you to engage them. This can be really different from company to company and relationship to relationship. The way Microsoft does it, they're giving you this 800 number, then they're giving you this code down here. What that code does is on Microsoft end, it's telling them, okay, this is what I do with the TSANet call. But again, this piece of it is real important on how they want you to engage them. Lots of different methods that companies will use to do that. On every process document, I've also got an escalation point. So the way the escalation works is we want you to use this process that they put up here and defined first. If for some reason that doesn't work, or if you feel like the call needs to be escalated. And I'm not going to go into the details of that. I think you know when the call should be escalated or not. But you've got an escalation point down there. If for some reason you don't feel that that company is meeting the expectations of the relationship, then you can always contact TSANet. Our job is to make sure that our members are compliant with the relationship. In the open groups, the basic and the premium, all of these companies have agreed to work with you to isolation and or resolution of a mutual customer problem. Okay? In the custom groups, that can be different, and you need to go in and find more about the custom groups and how those are used, and I can get you more information about that if you'd like. But in the open groups, it's isolation and or resolution. And I told you I'd give you a little bit of contrast here, so go to IBM. And we don't need to dig all the way down in the process documents, but what I wanted to show you here is, well, look at the way that they're set up, right? They're not only done by geo, but they're also done by product type. So when you get, this is the company that's got more departments than any other member in TSANet. So some of them you're only going to see one single department. Some of them you'll see multiple departments. Again, it just depends on the company and the way that they're set up. Okay. And I think I'm going to go ahead and take us out of the directory now. I'm going to go back to our slides. So what I would like you to get out of this organization, or get out of this slide presentation, is understand that we're an organization of members. We are different than a lot of companies are set up. We operate again under a set of bylaws. Understand what relationship you're using, and understand where the entitlement level comes in for that regarding the basic and premium. It's going to depend. You're going to have to get some information from that customer as far as what level of relationship do you have with, the other company. What information do you need to get about that customer? But the point of this is that you're able to tell that customer, look, you don't have to start this process all over again. And I have a relationship with these other companies. They've agreed to work with me. I may need a little information from you, but I can call you on behalf of, I can call that other member on behalf of you. So you don't have to have them start the process all over again. There may be cases where the customer you want to have on the line with you. There may be cases then you want to have that customer disengage so you can work directly with that other member. Escalate the calls as we're given per the instructions. And please don't start there. We want you, if you have a problem, to go there. But we want you to use those instructions that are there. And if you have problems, let us know. Because I can't fix anything if I don't know that there was a problem to begin with. There's a lot of new stuff coming up this year in 2014. We're going to redo this interface a little bit, streamline it, and make it more easier. We're going to a new tile interface. Again, like we're doing a lot with this case exchange, a lot of things going on in TSA to make your life better if you need to engage and work with another partner. And as far as resources are concerned, we've got hundreds of people in our LinkedIn group, so I'd love to get you part of that and part of those discussions, kind of keep you up to date with what's going on with TSANet. If you're a Twitter fan, join us at TSANet Tweet. We tweet out every new member regardless of what level they join in at, so you'll be able to keep track of who's coming into TSANet, et cetera, that kind of thing. If you have any questions, there is the phone number for us, and certainly there's my email address. Okay, again, everybody, thanks so much.